Hello kids, I'm back here with my next story from Shiv Purana, the Rudra compilation. It's called Narad's Delusion, meaning Narad Muni's false belief. There lived Narad Muni in caves of Himalayan mountains. He performed strict penance. Indra got very disturbed by anticipating that at the end of the penance, Narada may ask for Indra's kingdom. So Indradev called for Kamadev, better known as a god of love, desire, and pleasure. He is also the son of either Vishnu, Lakshmi, or Brahma. Different people have different beliefs. Indradev requested Kamadev to spoil Narad Muni's penance by his magic. Kamadev, the lord of love, immediately flew to the Himalayan mountains, where Narada Muni was performing his penance. Kamadev started creating disturbances. Spring, too, in all her full bloom, created all sorts of influence, like nice-smelling flowers to disturb Narad Muni. But nothing disturbed Narad Muni. Both the spring and Kamadev felt humiliated and soon found out that Bhagwan Shiva had meditated at the same place and that he had gotten angry with Kamadev, and now Kamadev had no influence over that area. As Kamadev and the spring failed to disenchant Narad Muni, Indradev himself had to descend down to the Himalayas to congratulate Narad Muni on his victory. Now Narad Muni puffed up with pride, thinking that he had conquered Kamadev. Narad failed to perceive the truth that it was actually because of Lord Shiva that Kamadev had no influence over Narad Muni. Full of arrogance, Narad Muni arrived at Mount Kailash and narrated his victory over Kamadev to Bhagwan Shiv. Bhagwan Shiv knew the truth and he advised, "Hey Narad, don't self-praise yourself or blow your own trumpet." But Narad Muni did not understand this. He reached Brahmalok and told Brahmaji that he had conquered Kamadev. Then he retold the story in Vishnu Lok. Now everyone praised him in spite of being aware of the truth. Now Narada was completely lost in his own greatness and how he had defeated Kamadev. So, at the request of Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu made a plan to get rid of Narad Muni's false pride and delusion. Lord Vishnu created a beautiful city on the path taken by Narad Muni. The city was more beautiful than the heaven itself, and Shilanidhi was the king. The king was preparing for his daughter's Swamvara. It's a process where all the eligible grooms would come and Srimati, his daughter, would choose her husband who would best fit. As Narada entered the city, Shilanidhi gave him a warm welcome, made him sit, and then sent for his beautiful daughter Srimati, who came and bowed to him. Looking at her great beauty, Narada was wonderstruck and said, "O king, who is this beautiful girl? She is so beautiful. It appears that she has just stepped down from heaven itself." With all this due respect, with joined hands, the king replied, "Hey Muni, this is my daughter, and she has reached marriageable age. We are in search of a bridegroom for her in Swamvara that has to take place soon. Kindly tell what is her destiny." At the time these words were said, Narada Muni was completely engulfed in his own desire to marry Srimati. Narada foretold, "O king, your daughter has all good traits. She is blessed with Lakshmi herself. Her future husband will have all the virtues and will be at par with Lord Shiva himself. He will also be a defeater of Kamdeva." Basically, Narad Muni was implying to himself. Under the influence of Bhagwan Shiva, Narad Muni, already under the influence of want and passion, he started thinking about how he could marry Srimati. So he decided to go to Bhagwan Vishnu. In Vishnu Loka, he requested Bhagwan Vishnu to make him look like Vishnu himself. And Vishnu blessed him with a form like his own and face like Hari. Hari meaning a monkey. Narada was unaware of this trick that Bhagwan Vishnu had played on him. He thought himself to be a replica of Vishnu himself. Thus, extremely happy Narada Muni came back and seated himself in Swamvara. He was extremely confident that he would be the chosen groom. Everyone saw him in his old form, except the two attendants of Lord Shiva, who saw him as a monkey. They laughed at him and mocked him. He ignored all the mockery and waited for the princess to choose him. As she approached him, she was infuriated to see the monkey-faced prince. And she went ahead without putting a garland around Narad Muni's neck. Failing to find anyone suitable for herself, Lord Vishnu had to come down in form of king. She chose him, and after she put a garland around Lord Vishnu's neck, they immediately vanished. After Vishnu vanished with Srimati, Narada became very angry. He was blinded by his love for Srimati, and all he wanted was to marry her. The two attendants of Lord Shiva came and told him how want and need had engulfed him, Narad Muni, and asked him to look at his face, which was like a monkey. Narad Muni was taken aback. He ran to the pond nearby and looked at his reflection. Looking at his reflection, he was very angry. In full anger, Narad Muni cursed the two attendants of Lord Shiva for not telling him the truth earlier and mocking him. And he cursed them, "Now go and be born as demons." The two attendants kept quiet and knew it was Bhagwan Shiva's will, and thus was laid the beginning of Ramayana, as these attendants were to be born like Ravana and Kumbhakarna, famous characters of Ramayana, which we all may be aware of. Then Narad Muni ran to Vishnu Lok and he cursed Bhagwan Vishnu, that since Bhagwanji had fooled him, separated him from the love of Srimati, he too will suffer from separation of his beloved. Thus, Vishnu had to be born as Ram. And he went on that, since Vishnu had a face of monkey, had given Narad Muni the face of monkey, these monkeys would help Vishnu and during Ramayana, and thus Vanar Sena of Ramayana was created. Vishnu accepted the curse, and now enlightened Narad Muni came back to his senses, and his wisdom was back. He was feeling very sorry for his misbehavior, how he had become so boastful about defeating Kamdev, and how he was blowing his own trumpet. Then Vishnu asked him for his forgiveness and told him that Bhagwan Shiva had himself planned the event. So, Narad Muni could be freed from self-praise and delusion. Narad Muni was wonderstruck on learning that all gods had worked together on the request of Lord Shiva himself. Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, Rudra the destroyer. Then Lord Vishnu went on to add that Narad Muni had the blessing of Bhagwan Shiva himself. He directed him to go to Brahmalok and listen to Shiv Purana. Narad Muni then went to Brahmalok, and after visiting Brahmalok, he came down to earth and visited all holy places and Shiva temple. Thank you, kids. This is all for the story today. I'll come back with the next story tomorrow. Bye.